everybody, welcome back to my channel. So this is my first live video, and I just thought I'd just take some time to introduce myself. So my name is Dela, and I am Nigerian American. I was born and raised in New York, but I live in Jersey now. I love makeup, and I think that really stems from the fact that I love art. Like, I love to paint. In high school I used to paint all the time, and just a couple of months ago I had went out on a date with my boyfriend, and we went to paint like these figurines, and it kind of just opened up the whole door of how much I had loved to paint and how much I had loved to be creative at one point. Sometimes you get boggled in the everyday life that your focus kind of it shifts. And literally after that date, I went into this full-blown mode, and I redecorated my whole room, and I just kind of got back into the love of just like expressing myself through art and being creative. And it's a small part as to why I started my channel. We'll get into that down the road, but yeah, so I just thought I'd just kind of brief you on a little bit about me. And so let's just get into the purposes of why I'm making this video. So today I'm going to talk about makeup brushes. I was originally going to do this video later on, but then I was left a comment to just explain what brushes that I'm using and of that nature, and I said it'd be better, I guess, to film it now, so that way, because you're doing makeup, you want to know what brushes to buy, what's the best kind of brush for makeup, instead of going out buying all these brushes and you're spending money and you realize that's not the brush you needed. So I just want to give a little video on just the basic brushes that you will need as a beginner and starting out into doing your makeup. Obviously there's so many brushes out there, but I just want to give you, I guess, the most fundamental brushes. Yeah, that makes sense. For my brows, typically, I like using an angled brush. And another thing, on a lot of these brushes, they have what it's there for. So that really makes it easy. Okay, I want a brush for this. Most of them have labeled, hey, this is what it is. Like this Real Techniques, it actually says brow brush, so obviously it's for your brows. I like the fact that it's angled, because then it's easy. I mean, obviously your brows are angled, so it really helps in having this kind of brush. Another good tool to have is a spoolie. This is a double-headed brush. It has the angled brush and also has a spoolie, and this I use when I've applied the product to my brows. It's a great tool to have when you've applied too much product. You just use it and it just sweeps away some of the product, so your eyebrows don't look too harsh and too dark. So this is a really good tool to have for your brows. Another thing that I have is my concealer brush. Now this is an e.l.f. brush. This is an Anastasia brush. This is the e.l.f. brush. This is only $1. I got it at Walmart. I will list the pricing of everything where you can get all these brushes from. And all my brushes aren't really even that expensive, so that's pretty good. Like I said, this is a concealer brush, and I use this to clean up underneath my brows to make it clean and precise. And so yeah, I'll just take my concealer, dip this in, and just kind of go along the edge of my brow and just to clean it up. And then what I will take is another concealer brush. This is $3. It's also e.l.f. and it's a little bigger, and they're very dense brushes. And what I will do is I will just blend out the concealer, and so it makes it just blend into my skin. So these are pretty much the brushes that I use for my brows. For my eyelid, I use these flat shader brushes. This one is from e.l.f. This is also e.l.f. and this is BH Cosmetics brush. Now, pretty much these are literally just all over the eyelid kind of brushes, and yeah, they're just flat shader brushes. They're pretty. Ooh, there's still product on that. They're pretty dense. All my brushes are synthetic brushes. I like synthetic brushes because once you put the product on it, it transfers to your lid. Like the brushes don't soak up the product. If you use natural hair brushes, let's say like a goat, brushes that have goat hairs, you pour your foundation and the brush will soak up all of the product. So now all that product does not transfer to your face, and now you're using more product. You buy a $40 foundation, most of it is in the brush. It's just a waste of money. I mean, the brushes, they feel soft, they feel good, but it's just not, economically, it's not really wise, I would say, at least for me. Now for my blending brushes, my crease brushes, I have these brushes here. Let's just start with this. I always use this, if you've seen in my videos, it's a Real Techniques crease brush, and I typically use this for all over my upper lid area and my crease area as when I do my transition color. I like it because it's pretty much big and it covers the whole area. So this is a good brush to have as well. Another brush that's really good for your all over eye area is a tapered blending brush. You can use this brush in your crease, and you can also use it to apply your transition color. It's just, you know, it's kind of like a dome shape. It's fluffy and it really moves product really, really well. This is what I use when I want to blend. It's just a fluffy blending brush. I can't say blending brush. And on the other side, you can consider this to be a pencil brush, and this is what I use when I want to do my smoky eye, and I'll put it in the outer corner of my eye. You can also use it to blend out the color on your bottom lash line. Pencil brushes are this one. They're very skinny, dense brushes, and this is another one here. And I use these brushes, well, I use this one, if you see me, I use it in my tear duct area, and I also use it to blend out shadows on my lower lash line as well. Moving on to face, I have a couple of brushes here. The first brush that is my fave, as you can tell, I have all Real Technique brushes. I think because they're very affordable and they're really great brushes. So yeah. Now this is a flat top brush, but it's rounded. If you can see, it's kind of circular. It's not flat all the way. Now what I love about these brushes, it's a buffing brush. So what I do is I press my foundation into my skin, and then once I've done that, and then I go in circular motion and I blend out my foundation, and it gives it really a flawless look. Another kind of brush that's similar is this e.l.f. brush that I have. Now this is completely flat, as you can see. It doesn't have like a round kind of shape. It's just a completely flat brush, and this is also good for liquid foundations and cream foundations. Another good blending foundation brush is the stipple brush. I don't use this for foundation. I could if I wanted to, because it still gives you that blended look, but for some reason I do prefer like these buffing brushes as opposed to these stippling brushes. I use this when I want to blend out my blush, highlight, and concealer. So I mean, not concealer, blush, highlight, and contour. So it just makes it all even, you know, and blend into each other. But it is a good brush for foundation. And I just also have a mini one, and I use this sometimes to blend in my concealer. As far as powder brushes for your face, I love the big brushes, big fluffy brushes, and I think a powder brush should just be a big fluffy brush. It may not have to be this huge, it can be this size, it can be this little mini one over here, but anything that's very fluffy, just soft, would be really good as a powder brush. It evenly distributes products, and it's pretty self-explanatory. Another brush that I use for powder is my setting brush, and I use this after I've applied my concealer. I will then take this brush and set my concealer with my powder. I will then take this brush and just after I've let it set and cook the powder, I will then take this brush and just fluff away any excess that may remain. Another type of foundation brush, I'm sorry I'm all over the place right now, is a pointed foundation brush. I don't like using these brushes for my foundation because when I applied my foundation, it left lines. It's like it was streaky because this brush can't blend or, you know, buff anything out because of its shape. It's just a flat brush, so it doesn't really blend anything out. Typically what I would use these brushes for, here's another one from Real Techniques. I use this brush to blend out my concealer and just, you know, pull it out and kind of move the product on my face. But then always I would then go in with my beauty sponge. So let's just get into the beauty sponge while we're here. This sponge, I think everyone should have a beauty. You can go out and get the beauty blender if you'd like. You can get the beauty sponge. This one I got from Gafflebin. I think that's how you pronounce it. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. I didn't want to spend $20 on the beauty blender. So I was on Wayne Goss channel and he raved about this. I said, okay, let me try it, because I've tried beauty sponges before, and when I would wet them, they will still be hard. The point of when you wet the beauty sponge or the beauty blender, it expands. This is actually in its full state. It's smaller than this one, it's dried up, but it expands, and the way it just blends your product into your skin is absolutely amazing. I got this one for $14.99. I've never tried the beauty blender before, so I can't compare the two. But I'm telling you, this right here is bomb.com. Maybe one day I will try the beauty blender, I don't know. For my eyeliner, when I use my gel liner, there's two kind of brushes you can use. A fine liner brush, which is just a skinny brush right here, or an angled eyeliner brush. For me, it's easier to use this angle to draw the wing, and I also use it just to do the whole thing. But sometimes what I may do is take this fine liner brush and just do the liner on the lid, and then I'll go in with the angled brush to make the wing and connect it. It's more difficult for me to use this kind of brush to do the wing and to do the whole eye. You kind of have to figure out what's easy for you, what you're comfortable using when you get these kind of brushes. It's all about really trial and error. To our blush brushes. Now, the brushes that I've been using for blush, I like it because it's like a two-in-one kind of brush. You can use it for blush and you can use it to contour, which are the angled blush brushes. Okay, yeah, I said that right. And I have this one from e.l.f. And if you see, it's pretty much on an angle. So I have this one from e.l.f. This one is from BH Cosmetics. And then I have this one from Crown Brushes. Even Crown, it just calls it a contour brush. But it's also, you can use it for blush as well. The top, where it's, you know, it's just bigger, you would use that for blush. And then if you just switch it over, you can then, to contour. So it's blush, and then flip it over and contour. And it's very cost friendly. I mean, you get a two-in-one. You know, you don't have to buy a blush brush and then a contour brush. You can just have one brush and it's used for two things. I just happen to have so many because when I do my makeup, I'm lazy and I don't want to immediately clean it all the time, so I'll just reach for the next one, and then, okay, that one's dirty, reach for the last one, and then okay, I have to wash my brushes now because I ran out of brushes. So that's why I have so many. And plus, I just like to buy beauty stuff. The next brush that I use, this is also a blush brush from e.l.f. I don't use it for that because it's just not like fluffy enough for me to use it for blush. I just feel like all the product will be so concentrated in one area because it's kind of, you know, dense. So I use this for my highlight. When I use my highlighting powder, either loose powder or a compact powder, this is what I'll use. So I think that's all the brushes that is beginner friendly and you can start out with. Of course, over time there's so many other brushes. They have a smudge brush. They have, you know, the fan brush. There's so many more brushes out there, but I think in the beginning when you're just starting out and you kind of want to know what are the basic brushes that I need, what are the most important brushes that I need, I think these brushes here are user friendly, beginner friendly, and I mean, I like them. It works for me. If you have any questions that I did not answer, or maybe there's a certain kind of brush out there that you want to know about, just leave it in the comment section and I will be sure to answer all your questions. And I just want to thank you guys for watching once again, and until next time, bye bye.